Well, this fight is all thanks to our good sponsors, Engage Industries. As we welcome our blue corner, weighing in at an even 65 kilos, he trains under Simon Carson. He fights out of Absolute MMA in Melbourne, Victoria, Tyrell Woollcott. And fighting in the red corner, he weighed in at 63.4 kilos with a record of 3 fights and 2 victories. Training under Elliot Compton as he fights out of the Team Compton Training Centre, Jayden Binnie.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us at Eternal MMA 39, we are back in the B class.
And ladies and gentlemen, so you are aware what's going on. Tyrell weighed in at 2 kilos overweight, and as a result, will be penalised 1 point from each round.
Thank you, Dave Ella. No one does it better. And as mentioned, Tyrell Woollcott versus Jayden Binnie. Woollcott will sacrifice 1 point per round for weighing in overweight.
Yeah, absolutely. And in layman's terms, that it means Tyrell Woollcott has to finish.
Absolutely. And we've seen a few of the instances here tonight. Matt Gorry coming in overweight. He got the finish. Tyrell Woollcott looking to do the same, as you mentioned, Jake.
And good on Jayden Binnie as well for still taking the fight, even though he had no inclination to do so.
Well, it seems to be the story when people miss weight, and you see it in the bigger organisations as well, Jake, that the fighter that usually misses weight ends up winning the fight sometimes.
Yeah. That's because most of the time they haven't had to struggle to get that weight all the way down. And when they do rehydrate, they feed themselves, they get back, they're usually much larger than the opponent, and they haven't drained themselves to get down to that weight. But again, thank you to Jayden Binnie for taking the fight, letting the fight happen. All his work isn't going to waste. And although Tyrell Woollcott might have the size advantage in this fight, Jayden Binnie believing in his technique, and we'll see how this one plays out.
Absolutely, and you can see Jayden getting to work here on the cage. Double unders for Jayden here. Tyrell Woollcott trying to get rid of that hook. But Jayden Binnie, we've seen him in the past. He has a record of 2 wins, 1 loss. And I'll tell you what, he is impressive for a young guy. Tyrell Woollcott, we haven't seen too much of. Can you tell us anything about Tyrell?
Tyrell Woollcott, trading out of Absolute MMA, and we alluded to it in previous fights, such a fantastic gym for its grappling, for its striking, for its wrestling. Fantastic fight IQ coming out of that team. We've had more and more fighters from Absolute MMA come up and fight in Eternal every single time they've put on a show.
Well, as you mentioned, Absolute MMA, Ben Higgins in our previous fight with the split decision victory over Rafael Vilches. And as mentioned earlier on, his teammate Sam Hibbard will be featuring in our co-main event against the Great White Michael Tobin. So Absolute MMA, congratulations to them. They're looking to obviously increase their record as a team here tonight through Jayden Binnie.
Going to work here is Jayden. That head control, throwing those knees in, training under Elliot Compton. And there's a takedown from Jayden. Such a fantastic veteran of the striking arts. He fights in 1 championship over in Asia, one of the largest organisations over there. So to say that Jayden Binnie is in good hands is an understatement.
Absolutely. And you can see that the weight difference isn't necessarily working in Tyrell Woollcott's advantage, Jake.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Jayden Binnie just getting into a dominant position. He's happy to cruise here. He's doing everything right. He's marking his eyes and crossing his T's.
Hands locked, looking for a guillotine here.
That is not an arm in guillotine as well. That must be addressed by Tyrell Woollcott. That can come on so fast.
Absolutely. He's got his head out. He looks safe there. Big knee by Jayden.
Yeah. Very, very smart. One threat goes away of the guillotine. Another one comes in the form of a knee. Oh, right at the end of the round. Keeps Tyrell.
Jayden
keeps him honest.
Big round there for Jayden Binnie, Jake.
Yeah. Beautiful round there from Jayden Binnie. Showing some experience beyond his years there. Taking it to Tyrell Woollcott.
And for those watching on our live stream at home, Jayden Binnie trains out of Sassom MMA. Is that correct, Jake?
Sassom Martial Arts.
Sassom Martial Arts.
Don't get it wrong though, they do mix it up there.
For sure, for sure. And before we commence round number 2, you'll see referee Carl centre cage with Tyrell once again taking off a point. The only way that you'd have to think that Tyrell has a chance of winning this fight, Jake, is to finish, as you said.
What I expect to see from Tyrell Woollcott, maybe not this round if he doesn't get the finish. In the third round, it'll really hit home that the only way he's going to win is that if he finishes young Jayden Binnie here, which is no small order.
You can definitely see the power difference with Tyrell. He's putting some real bad intentions on the end of those shots.
Yeah, he's throwing from the floor. You can see him throw from his feet up through the hips and then just extension on the punches. Beautiful control here by Jayden Binnie again. Shades of the first round. Drops down. Looking for a takedown here. Changes it to a single, I believe. Could still be a double. There's the single. Trying to take away the base of Tyrell Woollcott. That head control just so constant. Beautiful knee.
And we mentioned earlier, because this grappling is so grueling, it's such a grueling process up against the cage, the weight advantage for Tyrell Woollcott can be a disadvantage. More muscle to carry, more weight to carry. Jayden Binnie controlling position, making Tyrell use his weight against him.
Yeah, that's exactly right. More muscle to feed, more oxygen. He might be a bit stronger anaerobically, but you create a deficit in your bank account, there's going to be some interest.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you what, 3 minutes is a long time.
I'm really impressed with Jayden Binnie here. He's just so composed.
Forearm to the throat of Tyrell Woollcott. He looks okay.
Shrugs it off. It's one thing to shrug it off. It's another thing to get off the cage and get back in this fight. I'll tell you what, I hope Tyrell Woollcott is not claustrophobic because this is suffocation in the hands of Jayden Binnie. Ref letting it ride. Thinks there's enough action on there. I'm inclined to disagree. Seeing a bit of a stalemate. Tyrell Woollcott just not having it. He will not go to the ground here.
Well, you can see the game plan from Jayden's corner here. You know, they've already won a round prior to the round starting. If they can control position, stay out of the way of that big power that Woollcott possesses, then essentially it's a walk in the park for Jayden, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Coming into the third round, all the pressure is going to be on Tyrell Woollcott to perform. He needs to come out in that third one, and he needs to make it an absolute certainty that he finishes the fight.
Referee Carl stepping in here.
This shot to the toolbox proudly brought to you by Building Industry Training.
Shot to the toolbox.
And I thought I was crass.
Well, like we said, ladies and gentlemen, Dave Ella, no one does it better.
Tyrell Woollcott recovering here. Even though there is a cup that we wear, we must stress that it does move around. It's such a horrible feeling when you do eat one. You never see them coming.
Well, a warning would be sufficient here for Jayden. I definitely don't think he needs to lose a point. Absolutely not.
No, you wouldn't think so. Straight back into it. Tyrell could have used that to get some of the gas back in the tank, and it looks to be
and that's what it looks like. And this is where Jayden needs to be. Referee Carl getting out of the way. Yeah, very nice game plan there from Jayden.
End of the round.
End of round number 2. 2 in the bank for Jayden Binnie.
Thanks also to our sponsors LMR, Home to Civil Engineering, and their affiliate AB Cranes, abcranehire.com.au.
Round number 3 sees another point deducted from Tyrell Woollcott. You'd have to look for him to finish in the third round here. Will we see more grappling from Jayden Binnie? Will we see more aggression from Tyrell Woollcott? Beautiful takedown there by Jayden, Jake.
Yeah, and before the takedown, we saw Binnie very, very light on his feet. He looked relaxed, he looked smooth, like a guy who knows that he's got a few rounds in the bank. We saw Tyrell Woollcott come out, hands down, but clenching on absolutely everything that he's throwing.
Absolutely.
My apologies, Reese Lightning McLaren over there in my peripheral vision, distracting us. The former bantamweight champ, smiling as always. Woollcott here working off his back. This is totally fine for Jayden Binnie here. Jayden Binnie just sits here and he cruises to a pretty lopsided victory with the points taken away.
Well, I mean, it's a 10-8 round every round, isn't it?
That's exactly right. Yeah. Woollcott, for all intents and purposes right now, is -6 points in the hole.
Absolutely.
From a deep half guard, throwing up a Hail Mary sort of submission, ends up getting his back taken by young Jayden Binnie.
Well, if Jayden can get a finish here, he's got a neck crank here going. At this stage, Tyrell looks okay.
Yeah, he can just crush the jaw there. That is horrible. That's locked up. That's locked up. He can
Left
squeeze
hook
there.
Squeezed in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tyrell Woollcott in big trouble here, Jake.
Yeah, I've tapped to less here, man. This is horrible. That chin just digging it into the neck. Shades of Connor and Khabib there when he just crushed his head.
Absolutely. It looked very, very tight earlier on, and he's lost it now.
Yeah, Woollcott having none of it. Such grit to take such a horrible submission and just power through it.
As he goes again, palm to palm now.
That is under the chin. We're looking at a finish. This has got to be it. And there's the tap.
This fight is over.
Absolutely. Young Jayden Binnie, he wasn't happy with taking a lopsided decision victory. He had to hand it to Tyrell Woollcott, take him out of the fight in the 3rd round. What a fantastic showing from the young fella.
Jayden Binnie by submission. Fantastic performance from the man who made weight and made his opponent tap. Beautiful performance by Jayden Binnie, quite possibly a performance of the night.
I'm glad you brought that up. He did everything right. He made weight right. He came in, he fought his fight, and he did it in spectacular fashion.
Fighting in the amateur ranks, a true professional, nonetheless, is Jayden Binnie. We go to Dave Ella with our official decision.
No need to go to our judges' scorecards for a result on this one. Our clock gets stopped at a time of 2 minutes and 8 seconds gone of the 3rd and final round. It's a tap out due to a rear naked choke. And the winner, the red corner, Jayden Binnie.
Well, Jayden Binnie just grinds Tyrell Woollcott to the bone. He wraps him up like an anaconda with a rear naked choke, puts him away, and that takes Jayden Binnie to 3-1 in his amateur mixed martial arts career. Jake.